What is up, guys? Zan from the Zan Madden YouTube channel, and I've gotten a lot of questions about two-man under press and press coverage in general in ways that we can take the lid off of these defenses. Now, the truth is right now, early on, at least in Ultimate Team, our quarterbacks do not have 5 deep accuracy. So a lot of players are hanging on to those man coverage dreams and just kind of playing man under, shade down, or basically saying, I dare you to beat me because EA is going to roll the dice and they're not going to go in your favor consistently. However, today's video, we're going to show you guys how to beat press fairly consistently. So if you guys are struggling with two-man under or cover 1 or cover 0 press, this is the video for you. Now, we're going to be talking about on-off alignments for wide receivers because you're going to notice that this tip is going to work better with receivers who are on the line of scrimmage. But it's important that we first talk about the beat press or the release rating for our wide receivers. The release rating is what is going to compare against the press rating of the defensive back that he is going against. So right here we have Chad Johnson, a new receiver in Ultimate Team, one of the first legends to come out in the game. He comes in with a pretty decent 88 release. If you were to compare that against all the corners in the game, he is in a spot where as long as you aren't boosting your press rating from your DB somehow, he is very hard to jam. So we're going to be taking a look at him today. Now, on the other side of the ball, we are going to be taking a look at Ahmad Sauce Gardner card, which is an AKA item. And that is going to be an item that is a man coverage player, and he's going to come in with 86 press. Now, this is why I wanted to do this video today, and that is because right now, and usually speaking, EA tends to ramp the defense up ahead of the offense in a couple key areas. One of which is the offensive line versus the defensive line. The defensive linemen's pass rush ratings tend to be higher than the offensive line. The other area tends to be your secondary. You're going to notice that man coverage, in particular press, is a little bit easier than the release ratings. If you were to compare the number of high press, high man coverage corners to the number of high route running, good release receivers, you will definitely notice that the defensive backs tend to win in the press category. So taking a look right here at Sauce, he's got 86 press, 86 man. That's pretty good. That's, you know, fairly elite, top probably 3 to 5 man coverage DBs in the game. I know there's a Ramsey, there's a Jair Alexander's pretty good. But in terms of height, speed, press, man, he is very, very good. He checks all those boxes, so he is a fan favorite item. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna talk about on-off alignments. And you probably saw in that little clip that we just used a simple fade route to Ocho Cinco with no safety help over the top, and Ocho was on the line of scrimmage. So take a look at your formation. You're gonna wanna choose a spread set where you have a receiver on. This is called a split end. A receiver that is spread out and off the line of scrimmage is typically called a flanker. They can also be compressed. For all intents and purposes, let's just think of it that way. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna play a little bit of press, and I'm gonna spy my unstoppable forces so that way we're not taking crazy inaccurates from under pressure. There's already enough inaccurates in this game as it pertains to missing throws right now. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna use a on the line of scrimmage receiver with a beat press advantage, and we're going to put him on a fade. And what you're going to notice is that the release animation he gets is a pretty much super win, where he's going to get that tripping animation, and that's going to allow you to throw a freeform up and outside for a rat catch. And this is really easy to do against cover 1 or cover 0. So in the event that they are playing, you know, like a heavy man coverage blitz, you know, we're kind of imagine that Overstorm Brave type of meta where they're, you know, down here trying to play man press across the board and mug the gaps. If you're ever in this situation and you know that you got the one-on-one press on the outside, go ahead and just use a fade to an on the line of scrimmage receiver and you'll be just fine. So we snap this ball and you're gonna see there's the release and you get this ball out. Now, like I said, the unstoppable forces getting those El Toro animations contributed to the under pressure, but you saw the release was very consistent, straight beat press animation down the sideline. So obviously having a good release or against a good press corner is going to be pivotal for the success of this tip. Now, the thing is, you don't necessarily have to have a better release than the player pressing you. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sub in somebody else. In fact, I'm going to sub in Tyreek Hill, who's got 84 release. And Tyreek Hill is less than Sauce. He is very, very fast, but I'm going to show you that the quality of the release animation is still very good. So we're going to play press down the sideline again. And what we're going to do is watch the fade release of Tyreek Hill. Again, keeping in mind he is on the line of scrimmage, not off. And what you're going to notice is that he's going to get this high outside win where we're going to be able to throw this ball like you see right here. And unfortunately, we just got an out of reach, but
EA Sports, it's in the game.
Now, the thing is, when these quarterbacks get to 85 deep accuracy, we're not going to be rolling poor accuracy freeforms. So this is going to be something that is really, really effective. Again, Tyreek Hill has 84 release. He does not have a great release rating compared to the press rating of Sauce Gardner. And you're going to see that because he's on the line of scrimmage, he is going to get this type of release, and Sauce basically trips, and we can kind of throw this ball up. Now, again,
LOL.
Kind of getting screwed over on these freeforms. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Again, right now, Madden is just kind of crazy, to be honest with you. But you're seeing this release is true every single time. I'll run this again here. Fade. Sauce trips and falls, and we're just going to throw this up. Now, right there, I waited a little bit longer so that way we wouldn't get that freeform nonsense, and I just threw a regular bowl pass. Easy stuff, right? So that's how you're going to beat press consistently on the line of scrimmage receivers spread out on a fade route. Now, the problem is so many of you guys have said 2-man under, not just really cover 1, cover 0 press. It's 2-man under with those safeties over the top that are giving me trouble. So let's go ahead and go into 2-man under here, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do because it's really not that difficult. What we're going to do is I'm going to put my best release player back in the game here. And we're going to run 2 vertical threats down the side of the field of the deep half. And the reason that you want to do that is in 2-man under, this safety, if there is a seam and an outside vertical, must split the difference. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put our other slot receiver on some sort of seam. This is a great route right here because it has a notch where it's going to try to angle in and split the safeties. So that's a great option as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of just wait for Chad to get that beat press animation again. And we're going to throw that freeform up and outside. I would say to about where the hour hand would be on a clock.
Oh, Dad, that's so old.
When it's like 10:45. I know that's oddly specific, but 11 o'clock is a little bit too far up the field where a safety can get to it. And 10 o'clock is a little bit too horizontal where maybe a DB could jump up and swat it from underneath. So if you have a clock at home, wind it so the hour hand or the time is 10:45 and look at where the hour hand is.
Holy shit. You're a nerd.
But what you're going to see here is you're going to get this release up the field, and you're going to be able to freeform this in and get this rack animation. And you see how he holds on to it. This is by design. I know you're sitting there saying, Zan, that looks terrifying. But I promise you, this is very, very easy. It'll take 5 minutes of your time to learn this, and you'll be all set. Again, keeping in mind that EA made a concerted effort to make knockouts far less effective this year, this is going to be you get this high outside shoulder win animation, and he gets behind. And then you're going to be able to freeform this in, and you can do the rat catch. It's really that simple. Now, ideally, you're also getting a great release down the seam as well, because basically what you're looking for is for Devin Hester or whoever to get a good release so he becomes a vertical threat, which pulls that safety in closer to the numbers or closer to the hash marks on the field, to be totally honest. So you really want that to be kind of your effect. And you see right here, this makes this a lot more easy when that player gets into his vertical route. It allows us to, have more space to squeeze it on the sideline. So again, you see right here that this is kind of made open by the fact that Devin Hester can work up the field in front of him by a couple steps, which will then make this safety say, okay, I've got to play a little bit more inside right here. You kind of see that he was like about to cheat outside and then he ended up kind of swiveling his hips. This is what we're looking for, which is going to allow us to freeform that ball up and outside. Now, right now, this is going to be a money throw for you guys. This is something that you guys should be practicing, but it is very important that you understand that it's to on the line of scrimmage receivers, not off the line of scrimmage. Let me go ahead and give you an example of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to call this Trey Open formation. And the reason I want to do that is that the outside receiver is off the line of scrimmage. And I'm going to be able to very easily run 2 verticals out of this trips look and pull that safety that's over the top in towards the seam. In fact, a trip set is probably easier to do this out of than a double set because you have so many potentially vertical threats in this. So again, here we're playing press. I've got Chad Johnson on the fade, and I'm just going to use Pitts down the seam vertically. And with this, I'm not going to tell you that you can never get a good release. I'm just going to tell you that when they're off the line of scrimmage, they get a less consistent outside release off the ball. So we snap this ball. You see that Ocho kind of gets walled off a little bit here. And then I go to throw this, and I actually was not able to fit that in. I know that that seems a little bit odd, but if I were to flip this formation here, now we actually have a situation where Tyreek Hill is on the field. And we talked about earlier how it doesn't matter even if they have an inferior release rating. That's right there. What we just saw is, I believe, the fatigue bug in practice mode, but we'll make it work. Now you see Tyreek is on the line of scrimmage, and we know that there is the opportunity for him, because he is on the line of scrimmage, to get that upfield win animation on that fade route. So we're going to snap the ball. You're going to see he's going to get that outside win, and we're going to try to freeform that ball on a rack catch. You see how I was able to squeeze that in very, very easily. So you're basically reading that release. You see that what we're looking at here is for this outside release, he's going to do this little shuffle, gets into the pattern, gets the high outside shoulder on Sauce. Once he gets clear of this by about 2 steps, that's when I start to freeform the ball up and outside. And again, you're throwing it to about where the hour hand would be at 10:45 a.m. or p.m. on a clock. And you see right there, the safety can't get over. We get our feet in, and we're picking up a pretty big gain. Again, we're throwing this from the 30 to the opposite, basically 35. So this is going to be a nice little gain here. It's a great way to beat, a little bit of a press alignment. And of course, if you can get them to play off coverage, now all of a sudden you're working with timing patterns. You don't have to worry about guys jamming you up at the line of scrimmage. And obviously, if they are trying to blitz out of the 2-man under, that is going to be a lot tougher too, because, they're going to have to take these safeties and man them up on people to, guard the uncovered players. And, if they're going to start doing this blitz nonsense, we're right back to where we were at the beginning of the video where I showed this to you against Overstorm. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this free tip here on the YouTube channel. If you did, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, give it a like, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about this. And if you guys want more, head over to gridirongameplans.gg. Got so much content on the website and so much more on the way. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.